this video card. It's called Guitar Electronics. This is my Stratocaster. It's been rewired. I got this out of a pawn shop for $50. So what I did was I replaced the pickups. I got those on eBay for $26. It's got new potentiometers and a new Grisby switch. This is what came out of the guitar. These are the wrong potentiometers. They're 300K. They should be 250K. You can see the pickups are not very well made. They have the bar magnet, which is kind of kills the tone. I rewired this guitar with a tone bleed capacitor, 0.10 microfarads, and I use a 0.015 Sprague capacitor for tone. So they cost about $50 to rewire this guitar. It sounds a lot better without these pickups. Now we'll go over to the Telecaster. The Telecaster sounds pretty good through my amp, which is a Vox, which is sitting over there. You could really just get by with this guitar with just replacing the pickups. These are new pickups. They're cloth covered. They're Linko 5 magnets. They have no bar magnets. They have a base plate in them. I got them from TOG. I got them from TOG on eBay. They cost me about $38 shipped, and they're pretty good pickups. Okay, so the electronics, this is a import switch right here, and I replaced the potentiometers. It's got a 0.01 MFD microfarad tone bleed capacitor, and it's got a 0.015 capacitor, a Sprague capacitor for tone, which gives you a little more treble, which I like. So this guitar, really all this guitar you needed to do was just replace the pickups, which would cost $38. These guitars, you can buy them all day long for $100. This is a Squire Affinity. You can buy them all day long, so for $138, you could have a decent country western guitar, blues guitar, whatever you want to call it. So here's what came out of this one. I used an import switch on the guitar because I would have to change the cover plate. There's nothing wrong with the electronics of this guitar. I don't really like this wire, but it has a tone bleed capacitor. It's got it's got full-size potentiometers. It sounds pretty decent through my Vox amplifier. So it sounds good through there. Here's the problem with the pickups. They got the ceramic magnets. This pickup doesn't even have a base plate on it, so that's why I decided to rewire it. It sounds a lot better now. Okay, now we're going to talk about this Les Paul. This is a Samick Les Paul. It's a Korean one, and it's been rewired. It was wired. It's got an import switch because that's what fits the guitar. Humbuckers were left there. It's got new potentiometers, 500K potentiometers. It's got paper and oil capacitors, and it was wired in the 50s vintage style. And this is what came out. These are the little potentiometers. They kill the tone. I don't like this kind of wire. I use regular Fender guitar wire. And here's the kind of capacitor I put in. It's a paper and oil capacitor, 0.002 UF capacitor, 400 volts. Just like it was wired like a 50s Les Paul. The newer Epiphones come with this type of wiring harness in it, and this is an Epiphone switch right here, which is okay. You could change the capacitors around it a little bit, but if you had this, you probably wouldn't need to rewire it. But I decided it sounds a lot better. Now this is my other Les Paul. It's an Epiphone Pro Top Plus. There's really nothing wrong with it. I did not rewire this guitar. There's nothing wrong with it. It wouldn't do nothing for it anyway. Here's this. It's got the push-pull pots for the two pickups. It's got full-size potentiometers. Here's a wiring harness. So now I'll talk a little about the equipment I use. Here's my voltmeter. I use that. I got a soldering station to control the heat better, and I have a sound meter. All these guitars were tested, were all within 1 decibel through my amp in loudness. The back pickups were probably a decibel louder on most of the guitars. So they all test out. I checked the tone controls. Everything works. All these guitars have been tested. Here's some of the components. This is the kind of wire Gibson uses. It's a shielded wire. That's Gavitt wire. This is Fender wire. Fender doesn't use shielded wire. They use a cloth cover wire. This is the cheaper kind of wire, which you really want to avoid. It's a shielded wire, but the wires are super thin. It's hard to work with. Here's an Epiphone switch. You got to get the right switch. Some guitars take imported switches. Other guitars, you have to use you can use something like an old Grisby or one of those switches. Here's the capacitors. Gibson uses these kind of capacitors. This is a paper and oil, 0.22 UF, 400 volt. That's what they use in the 59 Les Paul. This is close to it. It's not a Bumblebee. They don't make them anymore. Here's what what the Fenders use. I use a Sprague capacitor. What you really want to do, if you got these in your guitar, these little potentiometers, it's going to sound pretty bad. So these are bigger ones, and they sounded better through my amp. But I just decided, if you got bar magnets on your pickups, you probably want to replace them. The humbuckers seem to be all right, so that's about it.